So we're going to move into a dyad exercise that Pauline and I will demonstrate first and explain. Pauline, thank you for joining me here.
Hi, everybody. And I have a little instruction set in our slides so we can talk through what we'll be doing together. So we'll be going into our dyads in breakout rooms. And for the first 2 minutes, each person gets to say hello and introduce yourselves. So when we move into our monologue, each person gets 3 minutes. And you get to answer these questions about what role does practice play in your life? Do you have an intention to become maybe more mindful, grateful, reduce stress, open your heart and compassion, or connect to the transcendent dimension or a higher power? So these are all different examples of spiritual intelligence or other qualities, and you can really bring in anything that you have an intention to practice. And then you can explore a little bit about how regular, committed, and devoted are you to your practice currently? And what do you notice that the effect of this practice has on you while you do it and after you do it? So really good to just reflect on how it changes your being and your experience. And then finally, just what are you experiencing in this moment as you're talking about these questions? So just getting really present with yourself and sharing that.
Yeah, before you move on, just to clarify here, so these questions are just kind of suggestions for you in your exploration around this idea of practice. So you don't have to answer each one of them, and you just have 3 minutes to explore your relationship to practice, how it's showing up in your life, what role it plays, and so on. So these are just some prompts for you to contemplate.
Thanks, Yossi. So after you've both monologued about the role of practice in your lives, then we'll move on to a series of repeating questions. And these are less of a suggestion and more of a framework that we'd love for you to follow if you're open to it. So whoever shared first, you could be the answerer first, if that feels good to you. And the asker will ask you, tell me a spiritual intelligence or other quality you wish to see in yourself or the world. And then you'll answer. The person who asked will say thank you. And then they'll ask, how does it feel to allow yourself to experience this wish? And then you'll share how it feels. Then they will thank you and ask, what might be some practices you can consider doing that would support you in getting closer to this wish? So here's where you have a chance to really reflect on maybe there are practices that you're already doing that you want to just reinforce or do more of, or just draw in from your intuition or your wisdom. What do you think would actually support you in cultivating these qualities? What practices could you see yourself doing? Anything to add there, Yossi?
No, I think it's great. I think the best thing might be if you and I could demonstrate this to everybody so we could see how this flows with these 3 questions that we cycle through. So Pauline and I are going to demonstrate this third step of the repeating question, assuming we have done the 3-minute monologue each, just to put it in context. So tell me a spiritual intelligence or some other quality you wish to see in yourself and or the world.
Equanimity.
Thank you. How does it feel to allow yourself to experience this wish?
I notice a deep sense of peace, more at the core of my being. It's like a calm lake that just feels really inviting to rest into.
Thank you. What might be some practices you can consider doing that would support you in getting closer to your wish?
Hmm. Definitely more grounding. So I don't generally do a specific grounding meditation or practice, but I think if I was more intentional around that and brought in some visualizations and even some physical movements that help move my energy lower in my body, that would be supportive.
Thank you. Tell me a spiritual intelligence or some other quality you wish to see in yourself, self, or the world.
Love.
Thank you. How does it feel to allow yourself to experience this wish?
I notice my heart space feels a little tender, actually, naming this. Yeah, it feels like a gentle opening.
Thank you. What might be some practices you can consider doing that would support you in getting closer to your wish?
Mm. For me, it keeps coming back to community, which is why I was so happy you tied that in to the talk earlier. Um, just really cultivating my network of friends and doing more practices where we share from our hearts and cultivate more intimacy.
Thank you. Do one more cycle. Tell me a spiritual intelligence or some other quality you wish to see in yourself and or the world.
Mm, joy.
Thank you. How does it feel to allow yourself to experience this wish?
I feel a bubbling aliveness of energy in me. I feel it in my face.
Thank you. What might be some practices you can consider doing that would support you in getting closer to your wish?
Definitely more dancing. We had some music playing earlier, and I just wanted to be on camera dancing, but I was helping with the technical situation. So yeah, dancing.
Thank you. Thank you. So you would be going through this cycle however many times you would have in the 5 minutes. And as you could see, I don't know if you noticed, but I noticed that just expressing the wish and contemplating, practicing it, some of those qualities became start to show up. Pauline wished for more love and heartfulness, and heart got tender, and you could see it now on her face, and some sweetness, and not to put you on the spot, but you are on the spot. And then as you wish more joy, joy showed up. Interesting, huh? So ask and you shall receive, but we got to do our part. So the universe or divine will supports us. It's like, well, you want this, but you're not serious about doing anything for it. Why should I? God says, right? So if you want this, you do your part. I'm gonna join you and support you in it. I think
Mm,
that's how I see it.
beautiful. So I
So,
just want to name for the next step, I'm still on the spot. So I just answered all the questions, and then
yeah.
I'm going to go straight into my monologue share, was my understanding. Is that correct?
Yeah, probably should have let you do that.
So we just finished this cycle of questions for 5 minutes with the first person answering, and then we'll go straight into the same person, so me, sharing. These are some, again, suggestions, right? You see just about what you might experience.
Yeah, having answered those things, where are you in relationship to practice? What are your experiences? You contemplate your practices, your intention. What might you be willing to do to support yourself in getting to express these qualities? And what practices are you willing to take on? And make that small so you could be successful. And so it might be I'm gonna do a gratitude practice every day before I go to bed, or I might meditate 5 minutes 3 times a week, or whatever it is that feels like the next step that you'd want to do and take on and set as an aim for yourself. And regardless, remember that you might want to practice kindness towards yourself. So it's an intention and you keep coming back to it. But anyway, so you'll have 2 minutes to kind of consolidate your learning and what you're taking from this exercise. So, Pauline, do you want to do that? Just,
Sure.
yeah.
And I also really appreciate that you're suggesting we take a small piece, not try to intend to do tons of things. Even though I just named some great ideas, I really loved that I could hone in on what actually I'm willing and able to take on and commit to taking on. And as I was thinking just now, the one about the supportive community and finding ways to bring more sharing from the heart and building intimacy. So I really want to host more gatherings for my friends where we're doing authentic relating type of practices. So that is my main intention.
Great. And anything else you'd want to share about just the process of having this inquiry and those repeating questions? What was your experience? I mean, this is kind of the bottom line that came for you of what you want to set as an aim or an intention for yourself.
Yeah.
Any
Just naming it now, I do feel a sense of expansiveness and like possibility, as if I can see where this will take me if I consistently follow through with this. And it feels really inspiring and enlivening.
Awesome. Great.
So, also just wanted to mention for people watching the recording, you're welcome to go through these questions through self-reflection or journaling or find a friend and practice this with them.